Tim Spence, Dave Scholl, telling like it is. NFL music, September 4th. Our third best division or sixth worst division, done by 20 voters. These last three were toss ups. I'll try to tell you my logic. Even though I think the Bengals are the best team in these last three divisions, them and the Eagles, and then maybe the Bills or the Jets. I wanted to say that there were two teams that I was a little nervous about in the hype. I think that the Steelers and the Ravens are receiving a little bit too much hype. And so I will say that I thought the AFC East was better just because I don't think the worst team in these last three divisions is in the AFC East. I think the AFC East has the most balance. So I'll choose them over this division. And I will say that the NFC East has three pretty good teams, and maybe the Deadskins. That's right. I said Deadskins. It's not the Commanders. It's the Redskins. It's okay. Too bad. By the way, there is a group trying to bring back that name. You don't hear anything about that protest. Don't know why. Charlie in the background doing his thing. That's what he does. He barks. So anyway, here we are on this wonderful preview here. AFC North, great division. Like I said, I think the Steelers are getting a little bit overhyped, although I think they are pretty good. And the Ravens could be getting overhyped. Browns, I think, are being maybe a little bit underlooked. But hey, we'll talk about that another time. The AFC North, I think, for one reason, could have the best record in the NFL come from it, but the other reason will not. The division is too balanced, so those six division games, unless you could see a 5-1 or a 6-0, I don't think they're going to have the best record, but that could happen. But they get the AFC South, which is pure trash, and the NFC West, which is very down. So I feel like there could be a great record coming out of here. That's 8 extra games right there that I feel you're going to win at least 7 of those. Out of those things, maybe, Jacksonville gives you a squabble, and obviously the 49ers give you a squabble. But again, to get 6-2 out of that 8 is not a stretch, because I think the Hawks will come back down to earth a little bit. So to get 6-2 out of that, if you can get 4 or 5 out of your own, that's 10 or 11 right there. Plus, you got 3 more games after that. So we're talking about the best record could come out of this division, and in the team of the Bengals. I don't think the other 3 teams are consistent enough. My man Billy is a big Bengals fan, so is my man Chick. So hopefully Joe Burrow's calf is healthy for this week, healthy enough to play. You hate to start out 0-1. Might not beat the Browns without him. Probably could, but maybe you won't. So tricky situation here. We're going to start with the Steelers first. It's a tough situation. Oh, sorry about that. Charlie doing what Charlie does, barking, but we try not to edit. So we're going to go with it anyway. Steelers, Mike Tomlin, just so steady. Nothing funny than listen to Mike Tomlin press conference, but Pickett to Pickens could be huge if Watt's good on the D with Fitzpatrick and Porter. I think this could be a very nice team. I think Pickett's. I've been talking about how his development in second camp has been good. Again, it's a lot of comfort for him. He went to college in that town. So again, if you get Watt, Fitz, and Porter good on that D, maybe this could be a solid team. Maybe 10 wins, best case scenario, 7 wins, worst case scenario. 19th toughest schedule by NFLnetwork.com. Bengals are up next. I think the favorite in division, going for their 3rd in a row. No one's won 3 divisions in a row in this division since 2001. Bengals have the 17th toughest schedule. So they're, again, in the middle of the pack here. And again, playing that AFC South and NFC West really helps your scheduling. You got Burrow, you got Chase, you got Higgins, you got Boyd, you got Mixon. I mean, they got so many weapons. You have to make everybody happy. You got Reeder, Hendrickson, you got Pratt. So it's gonna be a pretty good defense. Like I said, going for 3rd in a row. Bengals are very solid. Obviously, the offensive line is always the key. And you see if you can go from there. But they have so many weapons. Like I said, Joe Burrow might just be out the first week. The calf injury, we'll see how that goes from there. I think the Bengals obviously are the favorite in this division. Not as heavy a favorite as, say, the Niners are in their division, but that's because the Niners division is not a good division. This is a very good division. Browns have the 23rd toughest schedule. You got Deshaun Watson, the biggest question mark in the division. How's he going to be? I think he'll be fine. I don't think this is rocket science. He's still young. It's not like he's coming back after a 2-year stint at 40 years old. He's coming back as he's still a young man. You got Moore and Cooper to throw to. Chubb is still a beast. You got Garrett, you got Ladarius Smith now in that defense. So that's going to help. Going to get a significant pass rush. I think the Browns will be vastly improved. I think tremendous upside here. Could be a 10-win team. I think the downside could be 6 or 7 wins. For the Bengals, like I said, the upside I think could be 13 or 14. Downside could be 10. I don't think they're missing the playoffs unless we have a major injury of some sort. Obviously, you have the Baltimore Ravens, who is the biggest, one of the biggest. A lot of people feel they're a little overrated right now. Great. Lamar Jackson gets a new offense, but it's like John Elway used to complain about Dan Reeves. Well, Dan Reeves took a team with some limited players and got them to 3 Super Bowls. Granted, they got smacked, but the offense obviously helped John produce and let John be who he was. And so you're always happy to get a new coach. And everybody talks about how everybody thinks the backup quarterback is the greatest person in sports. Well, it's a new coach. Everybody thinks it's always going to be better. It's a new offense, but does that mean it's going to be better? New doesn't mean better. I know we live in a cassette in this world where we're talking about new is always better. It's not. It's trash many times. Beckham's often injured. Bateman's injured. Andrews is always injured. This team has got more injury concerns than anybody in the NFL going into week 1. And I know they're not missing the biggest star going into week 1. Obviously, Murray being out is a big issue for like a team like Arizona, but they're not a good team anyway. This team just has a lot of guys banged up. They got the most injury questions. You got Smith in the defense. You got Humphrey back there. Harbaugh is a very good coach, though, and I feel even though last year at some end of games, he made some horrendous decisions in 2 games in particular. Maybe he's having a midlife crisis or something. I'm not sure, but hopefully not. But Ravens got the 21st toughest schedule, by the way. Browns have the 23rd toughest schedule. So the Browns obviously have the easiest schedule in the division by far. But at the same time, this is going to be interesting because this team is so banged up. Beckham, you just never know what you're going to get from him. Maybe he'll piss on the the kicking net or pee on a fire hydrant or something. Who the hell knows what else he's doing? But most injury questions here. So with this division, we just don't know what we're going to get. Like I said, I still feel like it's the Bengals division to win or lose. I feel like the Ravens will be second. Steelers and Browns. I mean, could all 4 teams make the playoffs? I mean, geez, that'd be a hell of a feat if all of them did. The bad news is this division is so deep that you get 6 real tough games. So you could see anybody in here missing the playoffs, with the exception of the Bengals, because the division is so tough. But again, like I said, Bengals opening schedule is tough. You start off with 2 division games right away for the Bengals. So that's going to be a hell of a look. And then, of course, they play the Rams, which I'm sure they'll smack the hell out of. But at the same time, 2 division games right away is it's something that the NFL has tried in a couple of different spots this year. And like I said, I'm a big schedule guy, but I still feel there's no question here that the Bengals would be the best way to spend your dollar if you were to be a gambling man. I am not. But the Bengals would definitely be the favorite to win a division, like I said, unless you get a big time injury of some sort. But again, all these teams are live teams. There's not a bad team in here, and that's why when you're playing this division as one of your outer divisions, like my Vikes are, stuff like that. Sometimes Vikings got stuck playing this division a couple of times over the years. It's tough. It's a tough division because there are no bad teams. Like I said, all tough crowds to play in front of, all devoted fan bases. This is going to be really, really tough. It's just tough football. It's smash mouth football. Always fun football to watch. So this is going to be fun to follow this division. To me, it's probably the most fun division to follow, even though I'm not a fan of any one of these 4 teams. Chris Carter, by the way, again today. Maybe we'll mix up the jersey for the last 2 shows. We'll see. But again, U.S. Open today here, September 4th. Tomorrow we go back for our Superintendent's Conference Day, which is it's exciting as watching the grass grow on an artificial turf field. So we'll go back for that. And Wednesday the kiddies come back. Thursday night we throw it up, and we'll go from there. Our NFL show will be done on Saturday for the week. We make the picks. Just advisory picks, have some fun. We get that season kicked off. Of course, we will already have had 1 game. We'll have the Chiefs and the Lions, so that'll be interesting. But again, this division definitely reimagine something where the Bengals should be the heavy favorite. So again, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Twitter, Facebook, Apple, iTunes, whatever you got. Give us a listen. Let us know what you think. We're looking forward to the football season here on Telling It Like It Is. And we'll catch you next time. And we'll have a good time. We'll talk tomorrow about one of the other divisions, and we will go from there. Take care.